What is up, YouTube? Holy Peps here. I'm going to be doing patch 5.13 notes, and in this patch they massively buffed Kayle, so let's go on to that. If you do not know, I made a Bronze Challenge episode for Kayle, which was really good. I showed how OP she was because I had a mid laner that went 0-8, and I had a top laner that went like 0-5, and I pretty much solo carried the game with jungle Kayle. And that was because Runeglaive was really broken with Kayle. Well, guess what? Pretty much they buffed Kayle's AP ratio from 0.25 to 0.3, and they gave her a new passive on her E, which does magic damage per hit, plus scales with ability power. So, yeah, that's major. That is very big. I was doing a massive amount of damage with Kayle, and now they just buffed that. That's going to be disgusting. Rek'Sai got nerfed again. I feel like every single patch I see a Rek'Sai nerf. Like, I've just come to expect this. Like, I don't even play Rek'Sai, and it's just like, oh, patch? Well, Rek'Sai nerf. Something that's kind of cool is that they made Veigar's R, basically the size of the missile, now scales with his ability power. So, if you don't know, you can basically infinitely stack his Q, which gives him permanent ability power. So, pretty much you could stack for 10 hours, and then his R will be like probably the size of a planet or something like that. It'd actually be pretty cool if his R could get like the size of an entire lane. I'd love to see that. Xin Zhao's Battle Cry is now 0.5 ability power, which is pretty cool because no one wants to see AP Xin Zhao. Before this nerf hit, I went off and played a game of AP Xin Zhao, and I found out that AP Xin Zhao was terrible and was not good at all because he has this like really cool healing effect, but it's not that good. Like, you do so much more damage, and you actually probably heal more if you just get like Blade of Rune King and Hydra and just go full damage, because you'll just like 3-shot people. It's insane the amount of damage he does. But going AP is absolutely worthless. So thank you, Riot, for nerfing that in advance. That way we wouldn't have to see people be like, AP Xin Zhao's the best, man. You don't know anything about this guy. So they basically made Devourer not be infinite scaling. So basically you can't stack it forever. You can only stack it to 35. And now it basically does Phantom Hit, which every other basic attack now triggers on-hit effects twice, which is kind of good, I guess. It's not that amazing, but it'll be good on Udyr and Yi. So that's pretty nice. Runeglaive just got a massive update, or I should say a massive buff. So the reason why they buffed this item is because only Diana and basically Gragas could effectively use this item. So their whole champion diversity thing was not going too well, because they basically made an ability power jungle item that could be basically bought on a majority of APs into an ability power jungle item that can only be built on like 2 APs effectively. So its now ability power is 50, and now Spellblade ratio is from 0.5 to 1.0, which is actually very good. So that'll be really good on Israel, because Israel is a hybrid. And it'll also be really good on Kayle because it gave 10 free ability power for nothing, and it also gave a 1% or 1.0 attack boost, which every little bit helps. Spirit Visage got a pretty nice buff for Soraka, so you're going to be seeing Soraka get played a little bit more. It's 20% all healing from just 20% self-healing, which is pretty cool. Blasting Wand is 10 gold less because Needlessly Large Rod basically got nerfed because people were just basically building triple Needless Rod items. They would go from Luden's Echo to Deathcap to Zhonya's, and Riot didn't like that. Even though it wasn't really that like amazing, I'd much rather go Athene's and Holy Grail or Morellicon into a needless item into Void Staff. So I have the magic penetration to take down tanks. I have the needlessly large item for my ability power boost, and I have my mana regeneration with cooldown reduction for my starting item, because usually you want to do that. But people were like, no, we're just going to build like 3 needlessly large items, and if we're not LeBlanc, we're just going to get bursted down in a half a second. So, yeah, that happened. Now, Rabadon's Death Cap got a stupid update. So, it stayed the same. I think, it went up to 3,500 gold, so it's not that amazing. It's just up 200 gold. The problem is that it stayed the same ability power, and now its ability power bonus is 35%. 35%. That is amazing. So you see, Karthus is going to be really good because what does Karthus build? Well, Karthus builds Rod of Ages. What else? Karthus also builds Tear the Goddess, which transitions into Archangel Staff. What items got buffed really nicely in this patch? Well, Rod of Ages got buffed, and Tear the Goddess got buffed, and Deathcap got buffed. So Karthus is going to have like 900 AP at any given point in the game, and when he gets that Baron buff, he might actually hit 1100. That's going to be amazing. Now, Zhonya's Hourglass did kind of take a hit. It went from 120 ability power to 100, but it's not that bad. It's like decent. It dropped 300 gold, which is actually pretty nice. Lune's Echo is the same. It dropped to 100 AP, and it's now 10% movement. So Rylai's now, it pretty much on, basically on anything you use, it's now either a 20% slow or a 40% slow, which is really, really nice. Because that's obviously pretty damn nice. Okay, so Archangel Staff went from 60 ability power to 80 ability power. Now, Archangel Staff, just from the very beginning, has always been an item that was automatically like 20 ability or 60 ability power, and then the second you actually build it, or it hits your mana pool, I should say, it automatically gets like 58 to 60 ability power. That's usually how it always goes. So off the bat, it's a 120 AP item already, and then you have the potential with like Rod of Ages or something to boost it even further. So in all honesty, it's going to be probably one of the biggest AP items in the game. I think it capped it out at like 177 or something like that total ability power, because it's 80 plus I think you can get 97 bonus AP if you build Rod of Ages and Frozen Heart. So we might have to test that again, because Rod of Ages got more base mana now, which is actually pretty crazy. Or not base mana, but additional mana. So that's kind of crazy. Hunting guys, or not hunting guys, Liandry's Torment, or what I call Lindry's Torment. I always call it Lindry's, so if you guys ever wondered what I meant, this is what it is. It might be called Liandry's, but I call it Lindry's because I just do. So pretty much it went from ability power ratio from 50 to 80, and now it's a 3,000 gold item instead of 2,900. So it just got 30 ability power for 100 gold. I'm liking this update. So why is this actually pretty major? Well, one, because Vel'Koz's main item is Liandry's or Lindry's. So that's pretty massive on Vel'Koz. You basically go Things Unholy Go, Lindry's, and then Void Staff, and you're pretty much set. And guess what got buffed? Void Staff. Void Staff's now 80, which is really, really nice. They did buff its gold up quite a bit, so it's kind of sad, but it's pretty good. Now, Gnasher's Tooth. 50%, okay, now this 50% attack ratio to 40% is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Unless you actually have a double attack speed item, it's really actually nothing. If you don't have an attack speed item other than this, and you're not running attack speed runes, then it's semi-significant. But other than that, it doesn't matter whatsoever. Like, if you have 2 attack speed items, basically your attack speed scales downwards, so it's not really that good to stack attack speed. You basically don't want to stack, like, if you get like 4 Phantom Dancers, it's not going to be amazing. It's really not, because they, Riot already nerfed attack speed a long time ago, back in like season 2 or 3. Because it used to be where you could just basically stack attack speed infinitely, and you would see Jarvan's, they would go and do it, and his basically auto attacks would be like, and you'd basically be attacking so fast that you couldn't even see his spear move, which is actually pretty cool. I think there's some videos on YouTube of it, but basically they nerfed it down, so I think the max you can actually get is 2.5 or something like that, or it's like 2.5 or 2.7, which is effectively the max you're gonna get. So that right there is not major. The fact that it went up to 80 ability power, that is major. so gladly sacrifice that small amount of attack speed for 80 or for 20 plus more ability power. Will the Ancients spell vamp went to 0. Now it does True Blood, where it heals for 15% of the damage dealt, calculated before opponents' resistances. So this is pretty good. It's good on single target champions. It's not really that good on basically AoE champions. Morillocon, basically same thing. Things in Holy Grail, same thing. Either way, doesn't... I don't know, man. This is just pretty awesome. Loon's Echo now in Crystal Scar. And Grim Reaper Karthus is going to now be a chroma skin, so that's going to be pretty cool. They're going to make additional chroma skins for that skin. And what do I think about this patch? I think it's pretty good. I like the fact that they basically buffed Kayle. They made Vel'Koz even better because obviously his 2 main items just got buffed. And Karthus is now going to be broken because Deathcap gives 35% instead of 30. Archangel got buffed and Rod of Ages got buffed. So, yeah, let me go start playing some League, man. See all these brand new buffs. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.